Hello guys, welcome to Chem Prep Hub. I hope your preparation is going very well. So we are back with another question. So ये basically NEET 2025 में आया हुआ question है. So this is a typical organic chemistry question. So I'll break it down in simpler forms for you. The question says, which of the following reactions does not give benzene as the product? So these are the options given. Let's start from the first one. So जो पहला option given है, the first option, you have benzene here. This is basically sodium salt of benzene carboxylic acid. Then they have soda lime in presence of heat. So basically this is a case of decarboxylation reaction. Decarboxylation reaction. So in decarboxylation reaction, what happens is there is elimination of carbon dioxide. That's why decarboxylation means the carboxylate unit gets removed. So there is elimination of CO2. So this soda lime in presence of heat mixture, it drives for the removal of this CO2 unit. Okay. And you typically get only the benzene ring with CO2 evolution as the byproduct. So number one में तो benzene gives the product is benzene. तो ये तो number one को आप छोड़ दीजिए because the reaction says which of the following reaction does not give benzene as the product. So first one में we are getting benzene. Let's go to the second one. Second one में अगर आप देखोगे it's N-hexane. So basically N-hexane है and the reagent is molybdenum oxide MO2O3 in 773 Kelvin and 10 to 20 atm pressure. So these are actually the conditions for aromatization. Okay. So aromatization means that it drives towards cyclization means ये जो six membered ring है under these conditions you remember this molybdenum oxide as an aromatizing agent it drives for the formation of aromatic compounds. So basically these rings they come closer to each other in the hexane part and first they undergo cyclization. Okay, first there is cyclization. First it forms a cyclohexane, then further there is removal of hydrogen from each of these three units. Hydrogen removes in pairs as H2 unit. This is an H2 unit, this is another H2 unit, and this is another H2 unit. Hydrogen removes in pairs. Ultimately, it aromatizes to form a benzene ring. So these reagents are basically aromatization reaction or cyclization reactions. So अगर आप देखोगे, these are basically your aromatizing reactions. So this I have kept this for you. ये देखो, this is aromatization. Alkanes containing 6 to 8 carbon atoms when heated to about 773 Kelvin under 10 to 20 atm pressure in the presence of a catalyst consisting of oxides. They could be either of chromium, they could be vanadium, means Cr2O3 also does the case. Cr2O3 also does the job. Vanadium pentoxide V2O5 also does this job. And in our case, like molybdenum oxides, they also do the same job. In presence of this range of temperature 773 Kelvin under 10 to 20 atm pressure, they convert into aromatic hydrocarbons. This process involves cyclization, isomerization, and dehydrogenation. So the first step is cyclization. It allows the carbon atoms of the alkane chain to come closer to each other and cyclize towards each other. This is the catalyst. And further, there is removal of 3 units of hydrogen to aromatize to the benzene ring. Okay. So the second case is that of aromatization. You can take a screenshot of this, pause the video and take a screenshot of aromatization part if you want. Okay. So this case is forming a benzene ring. Okay. So this case forms a benzene ring. Okay. So we are getting a benzene ring for number one. We are getting a benzene ring for number two as well. So number one, two is not the answer because it says does not give benzene as the product. So let's move to three. Third one is an alkyne and it's given red hot iron tube and 873 Kelvin. So I'll explain to you what actually happens here. This is given in your NCERT textbooks very clearly. It's clearly mentioned in your NCERT textbooks. Okay, so if you look at number three, let's go to the third one. So it's actually this. It's actually ethine, that is an alkyne unit, and a red hot iron tube. Okay, so what happens here is, you see, in such conditions, when you actually carry out this reaction at elevated temperatures in presence of red hot iron tubes inside a red hot iron tube, these units come closer to each other. You see, this is one unit, one ethine unit. Okay, this is another ethine unit, and this is another alkyne unit. So in presence of these conditions, these three alkyne units come closer to each other and they start cyclizing amongst each other. You see, now you see that one alkyne, each alkyne had three bonds in total. One of these bonds is used in forming a cyclic bond. So now you are left with two bonds on each of the alkyne. So ultimately you get a cyclic product with three bonds each. So both 1, 2 and 3 are giving us benzene. So the obvious answer is 4, but still we'll look at it how. Okay. So obvious answer is 4, but we'll look at it how the last one gives us. Okay. So you see the last one is a diazonium salt. This is called a diazonium salt, and H2O in warm conditions is given. Okay. So in case of a diazonium salt, in case of a diazonium salt, this is already in the form of a very good leaving group. If you look at it, this is a chloride diazonium salt, okay, and this is H2O. So actually, you see, such kinds of species are unstable. This positive charge is present on nitrogen atom and it will want to neutralize it. And that is why this H2O under warm conditions, if you are giving, this promotes it to attack at this particular site because this bond becomes weaker due to the presence of this positive charge as well. Okay, and then this thing is removed. Now the positive charge on nitrogen would mean that nitrogen was electron deficient. Now it has attained the electron density from this bond, so it is no longer having positive charge. So we are just left with a benzene ring, and since this thing was attacking, so water had attacked on this bond, right? So this is H2O with a positive charge plus N2 as the byproduct. This positive charge will neutralize again. So we'll have final product as phenol with nitrogen gas. So this case does not give benzene. Okay, does not give benzene. So according to the question, option 4 is the right answer. Okay, option 4 is the right answer. So I hope all of you understood this. Please subscribe for more videos. I'll be giving detailed solutions to this. Thank you.